Welcome to Ipsos Cannes Review webinar, The Empathy Reconnection. I'm Isabelle Fortin. I'm Global Activation and Marketing Lead at Ipsos. And I have the pleasure to co-host this webinar with two gentlemen today. So first of all, our very own guest from Publicis, Robert van Den Heuvel. Robert is Executive Creative Director at Publicis Groupe. And the second gentleman is my dear colleague Arnaud Debiat, who is Creative Development Director at Ipsos. And I think, Arnaud, you wanted to start with sharing your thoughts about our world in 2025.
Yes, exactly. Thanks a lot, Isabel, because one of the things that we noticed in Cannes is that, defying all expectations, people were, of course, speaking about artificial intelligence, but they were speaking a lot about empathy. And the reason why, as you said, is because when you think about, what people are facing and the world they're evolving in today, which is more complex, uncertain, clumsy, conforming, polarized, and we see that every day in the news, that calls for empathy. And what is empathy? Empathy is all about understanding and feeling for what matters to people. So understanding the tensions they are facing, and not only feeling for them, not only understanding them, but as brands, as companies, but also as politicians, as citizens, showing that you can address these tensions and you can reconnect with people, offering a solution to their challenges. So let's say it's, for example, about being simple, in the moment, being in reality, anchored in humanity, provided unity to help alleviate these tensions. And this is what empathy is all about. And there's no mystery why it was so much talked about in Cannes. It's because that's something that we know at Ipsos, and at Ipsos Creative Excellence, is that empathy has a central role in driving advertising effectiveness. Of course, creativity is important, unique, entertaining, being surprising, having a creative idea that is going to make the brand different. But also, as you can see on this slide from our Misfits meta-learning, leading with empathy, finding content that resonates with people and that fits with the brand is essential. So much so that actually, if you want to develop advertising that is truly effective, you need to blend creativity and empathy together. And I think, Robert, that this was very much talked about in Cannes, not only by Ipsos or Publicis, right?
No, absolutely, absolutely, Arnaud. This is exactly what Unilever, Essie Eccleston said in a fantastic keynote, which was all about, like, in a world where machines and agents will increasingly make choices for us, we face a fundamental question, which is, will our brands matter to people or only to machines? And in this dance between data and desire, we found what makes the difference: our humanity, like Arnaud was already mentioning. It's not our limitation, it is our superpower. It's our most powerful advantage in the age of AI. And well, if you think about it, like, people experience so many tensions in our world today that it's perceived as more complex, hostile, and uncertain. And this is where empathy truly matters, because empathy is about understanding and feeling for what's important to people and what tensions they face. And that's how we landed on the big insight and takeaway from our Cannes visit, which was human after all.
So before we delve into that, maybe Isabel, you want to tell us a bit more about the Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity and what it is exactly?
Tell us more, Isa.
Of course. What is Cannes? So Cannes is definitely a unique global event. It is the International Festival of Creativity, and can you believe it? It's been around for 61 years. It's a massive festival with a huge number of delegates coming for almost 100 countries. And there is the official festival and the off festival as well, which is very interesting as well, with even more stages and more companies every year. So definitely Cannes is the place where you can make connection It is the place where brand people meet creative agencies, meet with media, meet with tech platforms, and of course, inside companies like Ipsos. So it's really a unique place where the future of creativity, the future of innovation is happening. It's a place where you can talk. These are pictures of Ipsos people on different stages, but of course you can also attend fantastic talks with great influencers and people who shape the future of our industry. It's a place as well where you can win awards. The famous awards of Cannes Festival of Creativity are the Lions, and winning a Lions is not easy. There's a huge number of entries every year more than 25,000 entries are submitted, but only at the end 32 Grand Prix and 360 awarded campaigns. So there's a very little chance to win a Lion. It needs to go through a very serious jury evaluation, and it's all organized by category. So what we have for you today is that we have curated a selection of awarded campaigns looking at their ability to solve or to alleviate these tensions and with empathy. So I think that with that, although you wanted to say a few words about the tension quiz, how it works.
Exactly. So we want to be interactive, and we want to give you your own chance today to win a real lion from Cannes. So for that purpose, we are going to play together. We are going to give you tensions that people face, and then you will have to guess the solution. The person that will come not only with the best answers, but with the fastest answers and the most creative answers, will have a chance to win a lion.
And most engagement as well, and enthusiasm, Arnaud.
Exactly, that's so important, Robert. Thanks a lot for calling that one out. And so how can you do it concretely? So you can use the questions function in GoToWebinar. It should be showing on your panel. And then you type in your answer. And my friend Emily will send me your answers on my WhatsApp feed, and I will be able to guide you and to comment your answers. So be ready to play. We are going to start right away with our first theme, our first chapter, and it starts with that tension, which is that basically people are living in a more and more artificial and synthetic world. So what can you do as a brand to support that? So I have my eyes on the screen and I'm waiting for your first answers. Don't be shy.
I answered already, Arnaud.
Yes, but you cannot play, Robert. You're like Obelix, you cannot play. But thanks a lot for playing with me. So I start to see a few answers coming. So I have people who are saying authenticity. So there is something about authentic indeed, but more to the point. I have one answer, which is the right answer. So well done. It's real. In a world that is more and more synthetic, actually, what you can offer as a brand is to be more in touch with reality. And quite interestingly, this gentleman that you can see on the picture here is called Thor Muren. He's the CMO and head of creative at Apple, a tech company. And they've been awarded this year Creative Marketer of the Year by the Cannes Lions organization. And all his talk was not about technology, it was all about the importance of being human, of having that human touch that Robert and Isabel you were speaking about keeping it real, about the importance of feeling it. And of course, he addressed very early on, like A.C. Eggleston, the elephant in the room. What about artificial intelligence? He said that basically, when it comes to artificial intelligence, you as a human, you, of course, as a creator as well, you were speaking to the Cannes audience, you should drive while AI rides the shotgun. In other words, it means that you need to use your humanity, as A.C. Eggleston was saying, and tech, artificial intelligence will amplify, will be the catalyst of your creativity, of your humanity and that's very interesting for a tech company to say that and to push for more humanity. And what is interesting as well is that in a lot of what Apple is doing, and in a lot of the Lions that they won, and they won quite a few, it was always showcasing the technology feature, but with humanity and with empathy. They got a gold lion in design thanks to a new feature on their AirPods and to their most watched ever Christmas ad. And I'm just going to show you a few pictures from that Christmas ads, which is featuring basically a real dad and his real story. And this real dad is suffering from being a bit deaf, so much that, you know, he has lost his capacity to listen. And thanks to the new AirPod feature, as you can see here, he can listen again because the AirPod now have a new hearing aid feature that can enable him to listen to his daughter, who has grown up since the early days, where you know, he gifted her first guitar, and it's a very touching moment. And that's a real story. That's certainly what is so interesting about that example, is that it's really showcasing in the real life of people how technology can make a difference and help you reconnect with reality. So a great example from Apple. It was then gold design thanks to this new tech feature that is doing so much good. On a totally different note, certainly one of our favorites, right, Isabelle and Robert, that we had this year in Cannes is KitKat, which won the Outdoor Grand Prix in Czech Rep with that great visual. And you instantly see that people, instead of holding their phones like we all do in the streets, they're having a real break with a KitKat instead of using their screens as having a break. And of course, it's a great message for the brand because it's all about, you know, what the brand stands for, having a break, but it's also showing on how we should change and evolve our behavior. It makes even more sense when you see that visuals and that campaign in context, you know, when you commute and you are with your phone and you are facing that great outdoor. So certainly a great winner, again, showcasing that reality is way better than the screens we are facing.
Yeah, correct. I think it's a beautiful campaign, like you said, Arno, and I love this notion, like no copy on the ad, but in the back of your head, in that little silent voice, which is whispering, have a break, have a KitKat. Beautiful campaign. And like you said, in context, it even accelerates more. Let's go to the next one. Let's go from uncertain to very curious to hear your answers.
Yes, and let me do the MC and see what we are going to get in terms of answers. So how can you face uncertainty? So I have a very clever guy who say uncertainty, so it's not certainty. Any other answer? So it's a 3-word answer.
Yeah, exactly. And where are we now? We are in.
I have in the flesh. It's almost that, right, Robert?
Almost there, almost there, almost there.
Okay. I have someone who says moment. What do you think of that answer?
I would love to elaborate on that one a little bit more, because that is very close to our answer, because we're going from uncertainty to being in the moment. And this is another trend which is showcased, and it's with all that uncertainty in the world, people want to enjoy that moment. And we call that nouveau nihilism, where 64% of the people are saying, like, I live for today, because the future is uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And 61% is saying, like, the important thing is to enjoy life today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. And if you look at this through the lens of cultural fuel, in some countries, this is even more real than in other countries. So let's look at a couple of examples in this lovely bucket of being in the moment. Great example from BBH Burger King. Bundles of joy. What we're seeing here is like the reality of having moms just having given birth and having a lovely copy next to it saying, like, arrived at 2:07 or arrived at 17:35. This is really built on the inside that moms are craving for a burger ever after giving birth. Beautiful ad of Burger King. Also from a craft point of view, if you look at it, it's really a snapshot of life. Going back to this notion of what we just said, like being in the moment. Another example is what we hear a lot from our clients is like, our product needs to be in the center. Well, that product is in the center here with Dove. We have a huge soap bar in the center of this. And basically the copy reads, which you can't see here, get on ready. And this is like Carnival at 11:15, where we see the Carnival's colors being washed off by that soap bar. Again, being very much in the moment and winning a gold line in print. Another example here, St. Patrick's Day, get on ready on 11:32 p.m. playing with the colors, beautiful campaign. And another one coming right now, also one of my favorites in Cannes, is Stella Artois with Clastro bars. We all know this notion of like getting to the bar, ordering drinks, but the room is packed with people. And how do I bring my drinks all the way back to the other side of the bar without spilling it? Because Stella Artois is worth it. It's the most premium beer you could potentially order in the UK. Beautifully visualized, product is 100% in the center, and that lovely copy of Worth It right next to the chalice.
I completely empathize with that. You know, that moment when you have your first sip of beer, it's magic.
100%.
Okay, time to move to another chapter, Isabel.
Yes, exactly. So, so the quiz for you is now from complex to.
Okay, so hands back on your questions to see. This one is super easy. So what can you answer in a world that is more and more complex? And yes, I have 3 answers already on simple.
No.
Oh, wow, well done, guys. Yes, it is about from complex to simple. And we know that simplicity matters. Ipsos Global Trend Survey, which is running across 50 markets, tells us a majority of people feel overwhelmed by too many choices in life, signaling definitely a desire for simplicity. So I have 2 illustrations of great campaigns on simplicity. The first one is coming from an insurance company called AXA. It's a French company, it's a leading company in the country. And in France, home insurance is mandatory by law and already provides emergency relocation in case of fire or flood. So AXA was very smart and they added end domestic violence. 3 simple words which have changed the life of thousands of victims of domestic violence by providing listening, assistance, and immediate relocation. So definitely this is an idea, a very simple idea with just simple 3 words as an ad campaign, but really tapping into empathy. AXA won a Titanium Grand Prix with their agency Publicis. So really a great example of empathy into action.
Well done, Robert and Publicis.
So let's wait for the next one. The next one is we're traveling to a very different part of the world. We're traveling to India. And we have a brilliant campaign from Indian Railways, Lucky Yatra. Very simple way to nudge people to pay their train ticket. So I won't reveal more. Let's watch the ad.
Welcome to the Indian Railways, my friends. The busiest public transit system in the world. Home to 24 million travelers every day.
It's too much people. We don't even have turnstiles. How can you check everyone?
And guess what? 41% of them don't pay for tickets.
That's a big financial problem for us.
But Indians blow $33 billion on tickets of another kind. Lottery tickets. Indian Railways presents Lucky Yatra, turning every train ticket into a lottery ticket. For 100 years, each Indian Railways ticket has carried a unique sale number. By simply pulling a winning ticket number from the tickets sold each day, we introduced a new reason to pay, giving daily and weekly prizes, matching the exact amount of the traditional daily lottery. The lottery was brought to 24 train stations across India.
There's a chance to win money every day. It's exciting.
Now I keep my ticket safe.
Anybody can get lucky. What if my ticket wins? You never know.
With $1.4 million in prizes, generating $685 million in train ticket sales.
Okay, I hope you like the ad as much as I do. I think it's really a great campaign, and they found a way to offer a new reason to pay for the ticket, which is extremely small and simple at the same time. And it's really, they have leveraged an unexpected insight, tapping into the reality of the Indian people. So a great example of empathetic marketing and simplicity as well. So I think we're moving to the next section with you, Anna, right?
Yes, totally. And time for another tension. Again, remember, please use the questions to play with us. And the tension is conformity in a world that is plagued by, respecting conventions, following the rules. What can you do as a brand? What can you do as an advertiser? So I'm looking at our WhatsApp. And I see a few answers already. Remember, Robert, you cannot play, but thanks, of course, for participating. So I have someone who is saying, breaking conventions, and that's very good. So that's exactly where we want to go. Let's see if we get some others being challenging. That's interesting. I have familiarity, it's not exactly that. And okay, so breaking conventions, I think I will take that one. The word that we had in mind is audacity. So we know that actually at Ipsos, we know that when advertising is going beyond the category conventions, when it's non-confirming, it's going to be much more effective, especially in brand attention. As you can see, these statistics, on average, you get a 21% uplift if you break conventions. And that's a lot of research that we have done on, understanding what in creativity can give you that opportunity. This year in Cannes, we were on stage to speak about what are the types of stories that you can use in order to break conventions and to get people's attention even more. And that research, I'm just going to give you just one key takeaway from that research. We basically used AI to analyze tens of thousands of ads and their storytelling tactics. And we identified that humor, but also being illogical and unexpected, are among the strongest amplifiers of your creative effectiveness. So leading with humor and being unexpected is a great way to do that. There are many brands who have understood that. There's one of them that has been at the forefront of that. This brand is Lynx or Axe, and they won already quite a lot of Lions over the last 2 or 3 decades on their platform. They are making a strong comeback, and we'd like to share with you 2 new examples that were awarded in Cannes. This one won the Outdoor Gold Lion. That's to advertise a new range of Lynx deodorants that is dedicated to the intimate parts of males. And just to advertise it, they did a gigantic scratch and sniff. On a poster, you can scratch and sniff exactly where you should use the deodorant, which gives way basically to really fun and unexpected street scenes where people can try scratching and sniffing the outdoor, the new deodorant. So a great way to create virality as well. A lovely case. And on completely different note, we are going to see how there have been very unexpected and original as well. They won with that campaign a bronze lion using all sorts of pets. And let's watch just one of these creative. Over to you, Agnes.
That's my boy. Oh, yeah.
Say hi, Churchill. He's friendly. Hello, my good boy.
This was food created with AI, Arno, or not?
Yeah, you could see it was completely AI or human, right? And I don't know if that's more humorous or unexpected. We have to decide, or maybe a bit of both. All right, I think it's time for us to move to another tension, right?
Yes, exactly. Now we're talking about chaos. So where does that lead us? From chaos to?
Okay, so I see some answers. I see someone mentioning order. Yes, it could be order, but specifically when you think about order in the world of brands and marketing, what is order in the world of brands and marketing?
Not only necessarily order, I know it's also this notion of like how to bring a strong brand over time. What exactly do you?
So we're getting peace. It's not exactly peace. Think about marketing, as you said, Robert. Over time, discipline. That's a nice one.
Getting closer. Getting closer.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, discipline is pretty close.
Yeah, I think we can give it. We can give it some points and move. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, let's reveal. So it was consistency was the exact word we were looking for. It's true that in a volatile environment, consistency more than ever brings timeless brands associations, and that's supremely important. So I'm going to share 3 brands who understand that. The first one is Apple. So another example from Apple. They've been, I think, nominated, awarded the title of Marketer of the Year, this in 2025. And here we are celebrating their consistency with their campaign shot on iPhone that they've been doing very consistently for over the 10 years. Same idea, executed across years and cultures. So very fertile ideas that doesn't wear out. So great work from iPhone and TBWA. The second one is, can you believe it? Real Beauty has celebrated 20 years anniversary. So that was definitely when it started, it was all about audacity and women's representation in a completely different way. And now, 20 years after, it's really also about consistency. So well done, Dove, for 20 years of real beauty and self-esteem for women. Just carry on. And the last one is even older. I think you're all familiar with L'Oreal tagline, because I'm worth it, because I'm worth it. But not many of us are knowledgeable about the idea of the woman who created that tagline. So L'Oréal decided to create that film to reveal the role of this lady, Eileen Spetch, who worked at the ad agency at the time. And she explains that in the 60s, ads were very often made from a male perspective. They were done by men and with a male voiceover. And she thought it was not right. So she completely changed the way of doing it from the woman perspective and with a woman voiceover. That led to that famous sentence, actually, I don't mind spending more for L'Oréal because I'm worth it. So a great tagline, who is now 50 years old, and that's been used consistently over the world. So a great example of consistency to alleviate tensions in our world with a lot of empathy.
Thanks a lot, Isabel. So I think it's time for us to move to another chapter, another way for you to win Lions, and things are very open. And the tension is gain, or you could say profit. And let me watch on my phone. I'm not being impolite and doing my emails. I'm really watching your answers and see what could be the solution about not just being about gain, about growth. And I got growth, by the way. Okay, so that's an interesting one. So what can you go and do, beyond, being, for example, a company that is looking for profit?
Think sustainability as well. Four-letter word starts with a G as well as an answer, just to give a hint.
Okay, I got purpose. I have something about share, so it's really close. So let's give these people who said purpose and share some points. What we mean here is from gain to good. Of course, it's not from gain to pain, right? And that's something that many brands in Cannes this year actually spoke about or demonstrated with fantastic campaigns where actually you can be a force for good as a brand and not only a force for profit. One brand, which was actually one of the reasons why, by the way, Brazil won Creative Country of the Year, is Natura. It's a Brazilian beauty brand, and they've shown that actually they can address their own business goals, but also be a force for being sustainable, taking care of the Amazon and taking care of the local communities. Let's watch the example. Over to you, Agnès.
Living. Eu queria viver da castanha, mas eu entro na mata e não sei se vou encontrar.
At first, Natura combined two different technologies, the high view capacity of a cutting-edge drone and an AI prompt able to identify tree canopies, species by species. This groundbreaking innovation made it possible to map an Amazon area of a size never before achieved.
400 quilômetros quadrados, a gente demoraria, em média, 25 anos. Com essa nova tecnologia, a gente consegue fazer o mesmo rastreamento em 6 meses.
Second, this data is provided to local communities so that they know exactly where to harvest. And most importantly, we commit to purchasing 100% of the community's production.
Ele deu uma qualidade de vida melhor para cada família.
Ele veio para fazer realmente a diferença na minha vida.
Unlike the one-time profits from cutting down trees, they now earn a continuous income from the fruits. The Amazon Greenventory creates a win-win-win cycle. Locals improve their income, the forest is regenerated, and Natura can offer more innovative products.
Okay, I think it's a fantastic demonstration of actually how you can, merge and join together, your individual or your community goals, and giving a reason for the local community to do better, harvesting instead of destroying the Amazon forest. And they give them a personal gain, but also a wider purpose for good. And that's exactly what Natura does as well. They are collecting all the ingredients that the local communities are harvesting, are collecting in order to make products which is good for them from a sustainable source of ingredients, but also great for them in terms of business and a great way to advertise what they're doing. So it's kind of a win-win-win, a triple win, which is great, and that earned them the Grand Prix for Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, it's time now for us to move to another chapter.
Yes,
right, Robert?
Let's look at another theme. Society is getting more and more splintered, and by that, polarized. So we're talking polarized, and we want to go to what could potentially be the answer here.
What can we do in a world that is more and more polarized? So I think this one is getting you thinking. I have togetherness. What do you think, Robert?
Pas mal.
United.
Connected. I see united already coming in as well. And united it is. We're going from polarized to united. Because by uniting people, views and values, or getting them united on a theme that can bring them together is definitely what we need in today's world. And we have a beautiful case, which is illustrating that, done by Panam 24, which is basically a consortium of like different production companies in France who came together and did put this all into action.
And it's very much addressing the challenge that we see, which is that actually the world is more and more polarized. And they had this little campaign, right?
I always like to call it, especially over this footage, the low budget solution to it, because there was quite some like money involved to make this happen. But super impressive, and like you said, like really something which was reuniting the country during that particular period during the Olympics.
Yeah, because let's face it, Isabelle and I were French, and we knew that right before the Olympics and the opening ceremony, people were divided in France about whether we should do the Olympics and so on. And that ceremony did not only unite the world, and you can see great comments from Brits or even Swiss people or Swiss newspapers and outlets, but it's also united the whole country under the banner of the Olympics. So a fantastic campaign, and they went outdoor with that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Great case.
Let's go to the next. We're going from fragmented to what? Very curious to hear your answers.
I have united again, but it's another word.
It's another word.
This one is not easy, right, Robert?
No, it's not easy. So let's go straight into it. Let's go from fragmented to targeted. And what do we mean by that? Well, if we're going to the next slide, Arno, that targeted is going to be illustrated quite well. Because if you look all the way to the left, in 2017, we're looking at 300 impressions we are being served with. Having said that, in 2030, the prediction is that we get more than 35,000 impressions being served. And to be quite honest, there's only so much a human being can eat and can digest. And one of the conversations we hear a lot with AI is more. But I think the question and the conversation should be about like more efficient and better output, to be honest. So we have a couple of, we have a very nice case actually to illustrate that. Arno, do you want to do the intro?
Of course, I always say that that's your favorite brand, right, Robert?
No, listen, it's a really good case. This is a brand which turned 155 years this particular year, and then still being so real and so accurate and so relevant in today's world is just like a big chapeau to all of them. Because what did they do? They had the Vaseline Verified campaign. Basically what they did, they took hacks which were already existing out there on the internet and in social media. They put a team together of like real specialists inside Vaseline, and basically that team was checking the hacks, whether they were really working and were correct and okay. But maybe we should have a look at this particular case because it illustrates it very well.
Just rub a bit of Vaseline on it and it will last all week.
Use Vaseline for your dog's dry nose.
By adding Vaseline to my cuticles before painting, this prevents it from getting on my skin.
I want to see if eating Vaseline helps with my skin.
TikTok has become one of the most alarming in terms of setting trends that are unsafe.
Filtering out the good advice to some dangerous recommendations can be tricky.
For the first time, our scientists tested viral hacks in the lab. Hacks that worked were officially verified, and dangerous ones were unverified.
I made a video showing a hack of how I look after my beard using Vaseline. Vaseline said, okay, let's test it out. And they took it to the lab and it works. I'm verified.
We're taking this to the lab. We're getting scientists involved.
I made a silly video showing this hack years ago, and now it's been officially verified and turned into a brand film.
My bandage hack has been verified.
The official trophy box from the team at Vaseline. Thank you very much to Vaseline for making my hack verified.
This may be my proudest award yet.
Get your cuticle care.
Buy your leather revivers.
Click on my shop. My Vaseline runner's hack.
I'm officially a Vaseline dealer.
Didn't see your hack in the video, Robert. Where is it? What do you do with that?
Well, if you put Vaseline on your lips and you eat very spicy Doritos, you might get away with it. No, super nice. Great case, multiple awards, including a Grand Prix. Well done, big chapeau.
Yeah, fantastic. And guess what? You know, we're almost at the end of our session. We just have one last chapter to go through, which is all about the fact that people are feeling more and more or less and less listened to. They are feeling indifference in the world. So what can you do as a brand when you feel not listened to, when you feel indifference? And let's see what you are saying. So I have listening, yes, but how can you show that you are listening to people?
Yeah, a bit of a hint here, Arno. It's like a word we started off with in this presentation, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have
presentation
committed.
is all about that word.
Yes, you have to be committed, and that's true. It's kind of the theme, the big theme that we have for you today. And one of you just got it. Yes, it's empathy. So no big surprise there. But, you know, just to put that in context, you know, that's how empathy can work. It can make people feel listened to. And this guy, Josie Paul, the CEO of BBDO India, the guy behind Ariel Shared the Load, and he was president of one of the juries on sustainable goals, said that creativity is empathy in a world where no one is listening. People are not felt listened to. If you demonstrate empathy with them, that can be a fantastic springboard for creativity. And clearly, that's something that we have seen with many of our clients, whether they want Lions or not. Barilla has come up with a fantastic campaign, and which clearly demonstrated that empathy is effective. They won an Effie just a few weeks ago with that campaign. We're just going to show you two ads. One of them was already good. The other one was great. So let's have a look at these ads and tell us then which one you think out of the two is the best of these two. Let's watch the ads.
The Tonys! Hey, buddy.
Ehi, chef.
Io.
Marti, ha una fidanzata.
Due specialità. Uno solo.
It's a beautiful night on this long
classic with a new intensity. Barilla al bronzo.
Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al bronzo, the pasta that does scarpetta.
Right, so very quickly, which one of you would vote for ad number 1 as the best of the two, and which ones of you would vote for ad number 2? You can quickly drop your answer in the questions. And I see quite a few people who are actually voting for number 2. If you think that number 2 is the best, you're actually right. And let's have a look at how and why. And well done on the special effects, Robert. That's really cool. So the first one actually is a good ad. It's working quite well. And, you know, it's giving that creative experience of the Lady and the Tramp story about what a great pasta experience and love experience could be. So it's very emotional, very entertaining. The challenge with that one is that it could be for any brand of pasta, and it's not touching something that is that important and that specific to people. The second one is basically a home run. Not only it is fun, it is entertaining, but it does express a tension that people have faced and gives a solution that the brand can uniquely deliver. So the difference in terms of performance is really key. Scarpetta, which is the second one, is on average 4 times better than Lady and the Tramp, and that's true across 4 different countries, 4 different cultures, and that's the power of striking the right chord with people. And basically, what is the tension that they are solving? They're solving that a lot of people feel is that, you know, in some social settings, you don't always feel that confident to have a moment of extreme pleasure. You may want to keep it to yourself, or you may not want to use your hands to eat, which is the challenge that is portrayed here. And the brand can uniquely solve that by having this pasta al bronzo that has this sauce grip power, which enables you to do the scarpetta and mob the sauce. So a very simple but beautiful story, targeting a very specific tension and making the brand as, you know, a key way for people to connect. So that's a great demonstration of empathy. I think we've seen many others, and I think, Isabel, it's time for us to wrap up.
Exactly, and I hope you learn a new word as I did, scarpetta. I'm going to use that moving forwards. I think it really elevates as well the way of eating the pasta. So well done, Barilla and their agency. So yes, we are approaching the end of this session. I hope you appreciated this menu of tension and the role brands can play in embracing these tensions with empathy, to alleviate them and to make the life of their consumer even greater. So we have 4 words with no surprise for you to remember. Empathy. Empathy is a driver of creative excellence. We've seen that. Empathy is also a driver of brand success. We can see that empathy pays back. People spend more on brands they prefer. The other thing is that you make sure that your brand brings the solution to the tension by demonstrating empathy. And the last point is, don't be shy, be bold. All these winners that you can see here have been bold. And at the end of the day, it's also all about, in this age of AI, all about humanity. And I think, Arno, you selected a short video for us that we would like to leave you with before we move to the Q&A. I think it's really a great video from the author of Sapiens, right?
Yes, let's watch the video, Agnes.
Is there anything we didn't talk about?
The most important thing is to remember that in the end, brands are just stories that exist in our imagination. We created them to help people. Brands can't suffer and can't be happy. because they don't have any minds, they don't feel anything. Humans can suffer and humans can be happy. So yes, you must serve your brand and your profession, that's your job, but in the end, make sure that it's the humans who are happy and not only the brands.
I think these are very wise words from Yuval Noah Harari, which are clearly demonstrating that the importance, as you were saying, Robert, is to be human after all, and the key role that empathy has for us marketers to connect with people, leveraging humanity, leveraging empathy, and making the empathy connection. And one way for us very directly to make an empathy connection with one of you is to give you, the person who had most of the answers and had strong participation today in the chat, to give you a lion. So a real lion that, is directly coming from Cannes for you, Elisabetta Ricci. So well done. You are a winner, and we'll send you this lion from Cannes, coming directly there to you. So well done, and thanks a lot for participating.
Well done, Elisabetta. Very good.
So that's what we have for you today, and we are now ready to have some answers. Please send all the difficult answers to Robert, and just give me the nice ones, please. So you can use the chat again to share with us some of the questions that you have. So over the questions. And Elisabetta, apparently you are very happy. So we're very happy for you as well. You played very well. And that's a very nice trophy, right? That can be on a desk. So we're waiting for your questions.
Yes, we still have a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Emily, we have Emily backstage to help us with the Q&A. So we're checking whether we have any questions. Bear with us.
Apparently, Robert as a challenge is completely muted, so a bit of a technical challenge. You should not have said that.
Okay, so there's something coming.
Okay, that's for you, Isabel. If all brands start doing empathetic marketing, isn't there a risk that every ad will look the same?
Oh yeah, okay. So empathetic marketing, I can see where you're coming from. That said, I think empathetic marketing can be executed in multiple ways. We reveal today a number of tensions that can be alleviated with empathy, and that should fuel inspiration for fueling the empathetic marketing. And as well, empathetic marketing can be about a creative idea executed into an ad, but it can be as well when you create a new product or a new pack that can help people in their daily life. So I truly think empathetic can be executed in multiple ways. Remember what we said about simplicity, audacity, consistency. It really needs to start with the right insight that is going to alleviate the tension into people's lives. So hopefully that maybe that was a long answer, but I hope that answered the question.
Yeah. So we're getting another question. So from this empathy world, where do you think the future is going? Or are we going to be real in the moment, looking for simplicity, audacity, consistency? So all the themes that we developed. Maybe I can take that one. So the tensions that we showed or shared were ones that were used by brands or were used in talks as themes in Cannes, but there's an infinite number of tensions. And as well, someone said that if as you answered, Isabel, if everyone is doing empathy, you know, will it be the same? Actually, empathy, there's an infinite number of tensions, an infinite number of solutions. So I think that, you know, empathy is just a great way to discipline your marketing and, you know, and to find, you know, inspiration for your from content creators to inspire great advertising.
I see another question, Arnaud, here. Somebody's asking the question, which is, I'm surprised the focus of this presentation is all about humanity, creativity rooted on human insights and empathy, while AI and tech are on every lips. How long do you think the human touch will resist over time? Very interesting question. And one of the things also we were surprised with when being in Cannes, where everything was around empathy and human after all. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask this question straight to ChatGPT, because this is very much AI related. So I'm very curious what AI is going to say. Give me a sec.
Oh.
Yeah. And while you do that, I think that there's a lot of anticipation about AI and technology can do. We've seen in Natura, for example, that technology was a key part of, you know, the solution. But you know, if we look at AI or tech created ads, there were not so many that were in the end, you know, awarded in Cannes. So that's still developing, of course. And we all know about, you know, some examples. We had this campaign, this Christmas ad from Coca-Cola using AI. But, you know, this one didn't get an award. It did work very well for the brand, but didn't get an award. So what is ChatGPT saying?
Yeah, a very interesting answer here. That's a great observation and a very timely one. While AI and technology are evolving at an incredible pace, the human touch remains irreplaceable because creativity, empathy, and emotional understanding are deeply rooted in human experience. AI can process data and even generate ideas, but it lacks genuine emotion, intuition, and moral context, the things that make human creativity resonate. I couldn't agree more with such a human-focused answer coming all the way from ChatGPT.
That's very reassuring. That is very reassuring.
Okay, and I see one last question, and maybe that can be a way for us to close. Personally, which ad or campaign is your favorite and why? So which one was your favorite, Isabel?
I love Lucky Yatra, like the railway train ticket. I think it's such a good idea and very well executed.
Excellent. Robert, and don't say Vaseline.
I'm not going to say Vaseline. I'm going for Kit Kat. Simple, smart. I love the, you know, we're talking about like an outdoor campaign with no copy whatsoever. I see a photo with people holding a Kit Kat instead of their phone. It's super confrontational, even more so when placed in context. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I think it's also very, very well done and super hard to capture such a great idea in a still without all that storytelling over 30-second TV commercial.
Okay, so I was to pick Kit Kat, so I have to pick another one. So you got me with my game. So let's say that I would pick Stella then, and I think for similar reasons. It's a very simple, in the moment shot, which is relating a lot to you know, what we all live. And I don't know if you do these bubbles. You're not only a creative, you're a magician, but yes, I think that's a great example. Absolutely. So I think it's time for us to give you back 1 minute of your time. Again, congratulations to Elisabetta. Thanks a lot for listening to us. If you have any question, any comment, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us at least on LinkedIn and of course at Ipsos or at Publicis. And thanks a lot, Robert, for being part of our Cannes Lions review. It's been fantastic to get more of your experience.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. Bye-bye.
Bye.